Again taking lead from Professor Thorat, only as he said, education is something which also helps in promoting values and promoting our culture, and this is in fact has been a part of our culture and tradition for ages. As we once again thank the Honourable Minister of Culture for joining us, would like to also know her views on this occasion, the role of education in further promoting culture in this country. Inviting, ladies and gentlemen, the Honourable Minister of Culture, Srimati Chandresh Kumari Katoch.
Padma Shri Professor Sukhdev Thoratji, Chairman, Indian Council of Social Science Research, distinguished guests, awardees, and friends. It is indeed a pleasure for me to be here in a program organized by Primetime, Global Education Excellence Awards 2013. India is known for its ancient times of education. We have institutions such as Takshila and Nalanda from BC, where people from other countries have come and gained knowledge, and to this day a lot of people come from far off countries to learn in these institutions. We've also had the system of Gurukul in our teaching, which has ensured that there's a strong bond between the Guru and the Shishya. Today I have to tell you that in our cultural programs we are also trying to involve young people to come forward and not only learn but also teach the younger school-going children by doing voluntary services. Here I'd like to say that Professor Thorat is very knowledgeable. I have only been a housewife and then became a politician. I'm not as learned as he is, but I would like to share with you the challenges that I have faced as a politician as far as education is concerned in the rural areas. I'm talking about Himachal Pradesh because I represented Himachal Pradesh first, and now of course I'm representing Rajasthan. And I would like most of you to focus your attention to the problems that the people in the rural area face. I find that we as a government keep opening new institutions in rural areas, but the teachers who are educated and are there to teach the children are not willing to go to schools in the rural areas. We have to make teaching interesting for our teachers. They should be dedicated to the services, and I find that we do not really take good care of our teachers. We need to improve their pay scales, encourage them to go to rural areas by giving them proper accommodation and family conditions so that they are willing to go and work in these remote areas. I remember in '82 when I got elected, in my most remote areas, 6 primary schools, there were no teachers. The children were going there, the parents were sending them, as I would say, khana purti pura karne ke liye, lekin there was no teaching. With great difficulty, we managed to get teachers to these schools so that the children did not waste their time. That is why today people are sending their children to private schools and not government schools. These are the problems that we have to face day in and day out. According to me, there should be a policy that all teachers who are taking government employment it should be compulsory for them to work in rural areas for at least 5 years, so that our children in the rural areas do not suffer. And Professor Thorat was very correct. The people who can afford it can send their children to public schools, but the people from the villages and the deprived people cannot afford that. That is why we have to ensure that teachers go to the rural areas and teach the children there. There is another thing that I would like you to focus on, as you are all from the education system of India, that we have to focus our education for the new generation that will create jobs, self-help jobs, and not depend on government jobs. At the moment, what is happening is that whoever passes out from the government schools or the government colleges are looking for government jobs, which is not possible to give everyone a government job. Therefore, as the lady here before, she was saying, it has to be, the system has to have a creation of new entrepreneurs and new venues for people, because the world has changed a lot. I know that our children in India are very, very bright. Given the opportunity, they are outstanding and they have performed all over the world with flying colors. They have come out. I would also like to take this opportunity to mention here that the girl child is always deprived. I'm proud to say that I have been in politics for 38 years in Himachal Pradesh, and when I started, I realized the girl child was deprived of education. But today, the girl child is not deprived. Maybe she's 1 or 2 degrees behind the education census that we have, that the boys are 2% ahead and the girls are 2% behind. But today I'm very proud to say that the toppers of the IAS exams, one was a girl from the SD family from Kerala, and the other was the girl who came third was Charan and OBC from my constituency, which was very, very encouraging that the girl child, if given the opportunity, does just as well as a boy child. So here, with these words, I would like to say that please encourage the girls. Especially we have to go into society and show them, especially in Rajasthan, where I come from now, where the girls are still deprived of education because they do not want to send them far, because they feel that if they are educated, they will not get husbands, and which is the completely reverse in Himachal, where they feel that if a girl is not educated, she will not get a husband. So in Himachal, they think in a different manner. So that is why we find that the education for girls has gone up. But states like Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, and parts of Bihar, Orissa, we have to make an effort, a strong effort, to educate our girl child so that the nation can become a strong nation with equality to both girls and boys. I cannot talk much about higher education because Professor Saab has already said everything about higher education, but I personally feel that we have to first concentrate on the primary education, which is where the base is formed, and from there continue to higher education. with these words, I once again congratulate all the students who are going to be winning awards here today. And I also thank you all very much for calling me here and being able to, and giving me a chance to give my viewpoint of how teachers should dedicate themselves to their work and work in the rural areas so that our younger generation can get the full benefit of education. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so very much, ma'am, for sharing your views. In fact, ma'am touched on some major challenges and issues which the sector is facing. One, if we talk about schools in the remote areas, and when we talk about education reaching out to people and extending, being a part of extending inclusive growth, this is where if we have schools but we don't have teachers, and teachers not wanting to go to the remote areas, so unless and until we create conducive conditions for the teachers, we are not going to be able to reach out to the masses and educate, and in fact make the people who are in the remotest part, people at the last mile, being contributors also to the economy. So that was one major challenge which ma'am spoke about, which we need to concentrate and work on. Second, of course, the entrepreneurship, building more entrepreneurs so that there are more jobs for the people, and instead of people moving out, getting enriched here with the good education, but benefiting the economies, having brain drain and benefiting the economies of the other nation, it is necessary that we create jobs here, that our pool of young, talented and knowledgeable people stay within our country and contribute to the economy. And girl child, which you mentioned, which is also very close to heart. Even today, in fact, we had the class 10th result, which again showed that the girls have fared better than the boys. So good that in this country where we have seen a lot of disparity between the two genders, the girls are now topping. And the importance of primary education, again, that's where the foundation comes. And then only once the foundation is strong, that's going to be leading into the higher education that we can talk about. So thank you once again, ma'am, for your views. And as we now approach the most awaited moment of this evening, that is the presentation of these awards, would just like to mention that a very structured approach has been adopted towards selecting the winners. There is an esteemed panel of jury which is across various sectors, across various mediums who are there, and the diversity of sectors of the jury in fact extends more credibility and neutrality to the job. So we would like to express thanks to our jury members. These awards see the presence of participation from the schools, from the institutions, the universities, from the preschools, and then from the entrepreneurs, from the scholars and teachers. So all we have, that is how we have various categories of awards as they are going to be presented. So first I would like to request our special guest of honor, Srimati Chandresh Kumari ji, to kindly do the honor of presenting the first set of awards. Would like to request you, ma'am, to kindly grace the dais.